Well, it's that time again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the interview with Craig-Veltri.
Thank you, Megan Pennington. And welcome to a non-interview interview. It is the second week of May, marking the fourth anniversary of the Craig-Veltri interview. So, as is tradition, Scarfire Media founder and owner Megan Pennington will join me on the other end of the state of the podcast to administer the No Kiddin Questionnaire 2.0. But first, the state of the podcast 2026. I wouldn't say that May 2025 to May 2026 was the best of my life, but it was the most productive of my post-college days. I did a lot of things while on the campus of UNC Greensboro except sleep. However, the years 2008 and 2021 to 2011, rather, were dedicated to resume and skill building. This past year was pure application of my skills, some of which I learned in college, but a lot I learned on this side of the degree. Of course, the most noteworthy event of the last 12 months was the production and release of Moonshine Vagabonds' debut album, Inside the Cabin. We will continue to talk about this record until we're ready to make the next one, be it solo or together. We're in the process of gathering footage to make a video for Keep Me by the Highway. We have video treatments ready to go for the title track and for We're Through, and we are continuing to add dates to the Heartbreaks and Mileage tours. I think it's important to note that Megan and I have been professional musicians close to 30 years combined, give or take. The attention and opportunities we've been getting is only going to get bigger. We've never seen returns come to us this quickly. Much of the thanks goes to Dallas Jack of Spade Creative for understanding our vision. Megan and I have found our producer, and we will be working with him as long as we can afford him. I've been wrong before. See Letters to the Defendant in Biloxi, for example. But the formation of Moonshine Vagabonds and the creation of Inside the Cabin is the proudest achievement of my career thus far. The proof is in my performance. I'll probably sing only 2 or 3 songs off the 10-song Letters to the Defendant. I could see myself playing the 7 songs I wrote or co-wrote for this record for as long as I'm able to do this. I mean, I was on a roll last year when it came to writing. It was so easy to write for this project. Easier than it was to write this segment. I've said it before, and Inside the Cabin proves it, but it's easier for me to write about trauma. That's how I've dealt with it, and I've learned how to cope through making art or just tracing the story. Since I last evaluated the prior year, I really didn't experience any major losses. There isn't much cause for grievance and grief, at least no major ones to report. Sure, I had to move twice. I had to replace a car. I ended what one might call a situationship with a woman I didn't see a future with. A few acquaintances drifted, but nothing truly devastating happened. In fact, a lot of good happened, including my cousin Katie giving birth to her son Jackson. I paid off my student loans. I saw Penn and Teller at the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville. Now, I didn't get to watch all of my teams play live, but I did get to watch Paul Skeens pitch. I got to play in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and New York City with Megan for the first time. More good than bad happened, even if it was a lot of the same. I'm learning that repeating is not monotony, nor does it deserve to be classified as boring. I've just been processing past damage, cleaning up spots as needed while moving forward, which for me often results in the best years of my life. This year is yet to be determined in the ranking. We're nowhere near a harvest point with Inside the Cabin, after all. In fact, Megan and I are still just planting seeds. Further, there's still a record that I had hoped to finish right after Letters to the Defendant got finished, the hodgepodge of styles called Sounds Like Me. Inside the Cabin felt more urgent to make, especially for the response it was giving to our lives at the time. I was happy to delay anything I had planned for Inside the Cabin, especially if I could help Megan Pennington. If this album and my continued involvement in her life kicks her career in a direction to ensure her the fame that she deserves and her children wanting for nothing, I can die satisfied. Besides, and I say this with gratitude for the circumstances, I've written better songs than the last year, and the album I had hoped to have done by now will be better for their edition. So as this episode airs, I've spoken with Dallas Jack about producing Sounds Like Me. I tend to look less foolish when I'm more open-ended about deadlines. I thought I'd be living in Nashville for at least 6 months by now. So let's say that I hope to have Sounds Like Me out in full sometime in 2027. with singles coming out by the end of 2026. Speaking of Nashville, when it comes to any success in my life, I can't keep it if I don't give it away, which is why I accepted the position of co-coordinator of the Pittsburgh chapter for the Nashville Songwriters Association International, NSAI, to be much simpler in talking about it. I want to publicly thank Kim Maverick for trusting me enough to offer me the position, and I look forward to working with Greg Stone in raising the profile of NSAI in Pittsburgh. It is a great resource to any songwriter who wants to get their music published for sync licensing or publishers, improve their craft, and is one of the great advocates keeping songwriting as a paying job alive. Our meetings are on Zoom every second Sunday of the month. Please message me for more information. Okay, it's the state of the podcast, so let's talk about the podcast. I had considered ending the Craig-Veltri interview not long after last year's state of the podcast. I'd spent a lot of time on this podcast, not seen much financial reward, and was prepared to open up the schedule to focus more on my music, including what would become Inside the Cabin. And then Megan Pennington gave me money. I won't say how much, but the amount covered my initial investment on a computer and mixing board. As far as I'm concerned, Megan and I are square, and I'm comfortable moving forward indefinitely with Scarfire Media and with the Craig-Veltri interview. I built a fine little show here. I'm good at this. I've read the numbers, and though meager compared to other talk shows and podcasts, the numbers have grown. I got to talk to Liberty DeVito, formerly of Billy Joel's band, and I hope to talk to bigger names in the coming year. But the great reward of this program is I've got to watch people I've befriended through this podcast grow their careers and catch up with them from time to time on air or in person. It's for them that I hope to eventually reveal their art and message to a larger audience over time. I still want this to be a main street interview show, meaning this is where everybody meets. I interview wonderful people, not just musicians. I do see how this will be a music show exclusively, but I keep the door open to anyone with a tale to tell. It is for that reason I've begun a Patreon for the Craig-Veltri interview archive. Launching as of the drop of this interview, I have over 100 episodes currently not available on streaming. For $5 a month, you will gain access to these interviews. So in case you missed interviews with Jack Gavin, formerly of the Charlie Daniels Band, Chris Lee of WRAL in Raleigh, and adult star Maya Blair, subscribe as I intend to release 2 episodes per week on Mondays and Wednesdays. The link to the Patreon is on screen now and in the description so that you may hear the pilot interview with former Monster Jam host Corky Franks. As for the year ahead of me, I want to move back to Nashville. I said that by last Halloween, I'd be fully relocated. That didn't happen, but I'm working towards it happening. I love Pittsburgh, but it's time to complete a mission that I began ill-equipped. I was fearful in drinking my life away back in 2016, and it would only get worse. A month away from my 4th sober-versary, I'm focused and ready for what I want my life to be. So by this time next year, Scarfire Nashville will be up and running. I'm grateful for every extra day that I get. I'm not supposed to be talking to you. So long as I get to live this miracle, I make a choice every morning between misery and happiness. Some days it takes another cup of coffee and an extra prayer, but I usually find my way to happiness and go to work. And so, to talk about the work ahead, a woman who makes the choice every morning almost automatic, the sorceress of Scarfire, my best friend, Megan Pennington. Mama Meg, welcome to the interview. Welcome back to the interview, I should say.
You said Scarfire Nashville, and I couldn't help it. I started crying. Oh my god, that sounds so good. I'm so sorry. Hi, world. It's me, Megan Pennington. Craig just absolutely wrecked my heart. Oh, in a good way. In a good way. Oh, honey.
Oh, well,
It's so good to see you and to hear not only to hear the word Scarfire Nashville, but to also hear the words indefinite come out of your mouth. Man, I just hit the lottery.
yeah, finally a woman recognizes. But anyway, so speaking of things going on in Scarfire Media, I do want to talk about your eventual return to Scarfire Media Podcast Network shortly. But I also want to begin with congratulations on your part. Southern Country Radio this past week named your song Believe Me as the #1 song this week on their airwaves. Congratulations. How are you feeling? Well, I mean, for the viewing audience, we can see you dancing silly, but what does this mean to you?
I have not hit number one in Nashville in quite some time. And that alone is amazing. But the start of my career, I was 19 when I recorded Free. It was like a week or two before my 20th birthday. Free hit number one on that same chart. Here I am again with a brand new project, and I hit number one on a song that I wrote with a whole lot of heart and a whole lot of feel. That was a sign. For those of you who don't believe in the signs of the universe, I probably sound crazy right now, but for those of you who are listening who do, I'm telling you, mark my words, the next 5 years are going to do something fantastic for the Moonshine Vagabonds.
You know, as the other half of it, I greatly look forward to it. Now, we've talked many times on the air about you launching a brand new podcast here on the Scarfire Media Podcast Network. It won't be quite like Fire Pit, but it's going to be more, I think, centric to your life and career, hence the title Mommy Rockstar. Tell us about it. When can we hear it?
Yeah, so when can we hear it? I'm putting the fire under my butt. This, as the recording of this podcast is being done, I am being reminded that, oh boy, it's been quite a while since I've been on the podcast waves, except to be on an interview. So I'm going to change that. I will be up again with Mommy Rockstar by the end of June. Mark my words, by the end of June, I will have a brand new podcast. And I'd also like to bring back Fire Pit. I'm not letting Fire Pit die because that was something really great. I got to see if Jim Skiff is able to jump on with me again. If not, then I might have to grab another co-host. But in terms of Mommy Rockstar, the project that I've been wanting to do for 7 years at this point, I want to create a space where, like you said, Craig, I can talk about the things that I've got going on and the things that I find along my way because I'm always exploring. Craig knows more than anybody. I'm always exploring. So I want a aspect of
She is a
that.
vagabond, after all.
Exactly. So I want an aspect of that. I also want an aspect of like, look at this new music I discovered, or look at this new music my friend made. Like, this is cool stuff, and it's not on the air. But then I also want to like have like a little bit of a like, hey, mommy rock star, are you making music or making art or doing something that you love, and your whole family and your whole neighborhood is like, you should be cooking and cleaning and barefoot. I am going to show the other women who do what I do exactly why that's wrong and how we can do it, be happy, and raise good, healthy babies.
So is that it almost sounds like you're just adding an element almost to your old podcast, Where in the World is Megan's New Music? Would that be a fair
Exactly.
assessment?
I'm taking Where in the World is Maggie's New Music, and I'm giving it like a human spin to kind of say like, hey, I know I'm a voice on the air, but I'm also a mom, and I'm also doing this, and this is how I do it. So hopefully somebody somewhere can be inspired by my story, not just by my music.
And also to clarify one thing, because I've had people asking, well, what about I've already talked about my solo stuff. Obviously, we've mentioned you have the number one song on Southern Country Radio right now. You are still going to be doing stuff with Moonshine Jasmine. In fact, let's just keep the shameless stuff rolling. You will be doing a headline set over at Cousins Lounge 5 o'clock this coming Saturday, part of the Millvale Music Festival. How great do you feel about being back at Millvale Music Festival with your band?
It dawned on me when I saw there was a post they put up, 6 sleeps till Millville, and it was a shot of me.
Why
If
do people
memory
say
serves
six
me,
more sleeps? No,
right,
6 more nights. You're an adult. Stop it.
whatever.
So,
But I think it was because based on what I did on stage, it was us playing Done Running, and I saw that and I was like, ooh, wait a minute. There are 300 some plus bands that they get in this festival every year, and that's me, not just like my band, but me specifically on the promos. So like to know that this echo chamber that I feel like I'm constantly screaming in as a solo musician and with Moonshine Jasmine, to know that that does pay off and people do remember me, and that time that I had to take off to take care of my own life wasn't to eliminate me from the scene, feels really freaking good. And I've been wanting to play Cousins backyard stage for years now because I park behind Cousins every year to get to the festival, and it's such a cool spot, and like I like to be able to smoke a cigarette while I'm playing. I could do that there, so like, it's
hey,
gonna be
I
awesome.
light up a stogie on outdoor gigs too. So, yeah,
Right,
no
right.
judgment. So obviously you have that excitement going, and we're obviously we're getting together again soon to write some more stuff and go through for what we have for the next record, what we can use for ours, and all that good stuff. Is there going to be more Megan Pennington music before we meet again in December?
So I have a couple songs sitting over at Listen Up Sound Recording that I haven't finished. I gotta reach out to Dave Staub and see about getting those done. But I also wanted to do I want to write maybe 2 to 3 more songs and come up with like an acoustic EP where it's just me and my guitar, and it's just a couple songs. Like I wrote that song "Breathe" recently, and not many people have heard it yet, but it's one of my favorites
I
personally.
love it.
It was my attempt to not only write away from um sorry, I got distracted. It's getting away from the idea of like these breakup songs because I wrote my album Grateful, and I really wanted to stay away from that after Grateful. And then Inside the Cabin came, so I was like, I'm still a little upset.
Hey,
I can still write a little more, so I did. Now that that's out of the way, like I'm done being mad. I've hurt my chest, I've hurt my mind, my hair's going gray. I'm done being mad. So I'm trying to write songs not only to state that like it's done, we're done being mad. It's time to be happy, but also just like kind of test my abilities in different ways. So I want to come up with like a campfire session album, if you will, just me and my guitar.
well, let's gather around the campfire and sing that campfire song, that CAMPFARESONG song. Well, looking forward to that as always. Well, Megan, this is an abbreviated non-interview interview, so we're going to get to that nice way of closing called the No Kiddin Questionnaire. Now, because I have a lot of repeat offenders now on this program, we're now approaching nearly 200 episodes. In fact, we may have passed it already. I'll count it and let you know what I come up with later. But because of that, and because I found that people are repeating their answers, I came up with a brand new and improved slightly version of the No Kidding Questionnaire. It's called the No Kidding Questionnaire 2.0 because I'm original and clever. Anyway, we did this the first time we did a state of the podcast episode. And so I turn the gun over to you. Please administer the No Kidding Questionnaire 2.0.
Okay. First question. What sound or noise do you love?
Applause and laughter. I am such a ham and I just love making people laugh and I love making having it be confirmed that people are enjoying themselves as a result of me.
The fact that your mom said, I can't believe you met someone who's more of a ham than you about me still cracks me up.
I
All
I
right,
mean I
what's
watched the footage back. I can't disagree with her.
I mean, I do wear the shoe because it fits. All right, what is your least favorite sound?
Mm. The sound of people complaining without a solution at the other end of it. I just don't have much of there is a solution. Eventually you'll find to it, but if you're still just wallowing in it, I've come to this conclusion. If you're not part of any solution, you're part of the problem, and I'm just gonna see myself out the door. Hence why I'm not married anymore.
Yeah, I love that. All right. What is the one song that you are not yet tired of playing, singing, or listening to?
I'll give you all three. Playing that one would easily go to Stand By Me. It is an easy song to play. It is timeless. It is poignant. It is not too maudlin, and it is a great sing along, but it's also one that might get people crying too. It's everything within four chords, and I just love that, and I just love playing it. Singing, I love the old standards and American songbook stuff. So my karaoke song, guaranteed every time, Beyond the Sea by Bobby Darin. I just love doing stuff that's different. And Megan's doing the little heart thing with her hands.
I
As,
love that
as
song.
yeah, I love it too. Listening to. Now there is no guilt in any of my pleasures, and I am a sucker for synth. I was raised on late 80s pop music. That was a lot of what was on the radio between my elders back in that time. And the one song that I'm always sad when it hits the key change and it starts to fade out is Breakout by Swing Out Sisters. Have you heard this song, Megan?
I think.
Don't stop to ask.
Yeah. I thought so.
Oh, it is just it's so fun. It's so buoyant. It's so helpful. It's not quite, run through a wall and then lift 225 on the bench, but it's just so joyous. It's so happy, and it's like a sugar rush. Like as soon as you start coming down with it, you're just like, oh, now I'm sad.
Like a sugar rush. That's funny. Also, this state of the podcast is teaching me I really need to go get glasses because I read this next sentence wrong. If reincarnation is real, Craig, what animal or organism do you hope to come back as?
Well, no,
Can you
you
tell
don't
which
need
word
your
I didn't
eyes
read
checked. You
right?
just it's not it's the right region. It's just that you have a dirty mind. But what animal I hope to come back as? I hope to come back as me, but taller. My life would be so much easier if I have an athletic. I have some agility. I have some ability. I think I would have gotten away with a lot more, and I would have gotten to do a whole lot more if I was just a little bit taller. Six
Wish it
two.
was taller. Wish it was a baller.
Yeah. I mean, I got to ride roller coasters, which is fine, and I wasn't. But hey, I gave up online dating because it was just like I was being honest to and limiting the pool.
Craig, you're taller than me. What are you talking about? I could ride roller coasters. Are you calling me a midget? Like what?
I'm not saying you're a midget, but I did get a letter with your name on it from the Lullaby League. So
Listen. Listen. I got one more question. You better be nice to me.
you got 3 more, but go on.
3 more?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't read. Next question. Favorite food to make at home?
I have gotten complimented that I can cook, but the truth is I can really only cook a few things. So if I'm really in a mood that's kind of foul, it is chicken parm. It's just something very comforting to me. Most of the stuff that I make at home is usually involved chicken. I don't own a grill. I think it's a crime having done it pan searing steak. I haven't really learned how to make any kind of pork dishes, just the salt and texture. That's not really good for your heart. So in fact, tonight, that is kind of the comfort, the simple comfort, and it doesn't make too much of a mess. Baked chicken with a little seasoning, Velveeta and cheese, and steamed vegetables. So that's usually that's the easiest one to make.
Well, Velveeta is ucky, but I'll teach you how to cook, Craig. Well, I'll teach you all the good recipes I learned that we can cook out of the hatchback of your car while we're on the road.
I don't know. You're the one that told me about body heat and ramen, so I don't trust you.
First of all, it was your car engine and ramen, and second of all, we're not making cheat cheese. I'm traveler's food, not jail food, Craig. My goodness. My
Okay.
goodness.
Very well.
Well, what is your favorite curse word? In case anybody forgot, mine is fuck.
Mine would probably be fuck as well. Although I do like compound swears a lot. Horse shit, motherfucker, and I try to get creative. Maybe not the overused ones. Son of a bitch, son of a whore. It's a little bit harder, I think. But
I'm sorry for the people who don't know why I'm cracking up. It takes a lot to get Craig to swear, and just hearing him rattle all these off right now is sending me.
I mean, I have FCC training, and even though we're not on an FCC airwave at the moment, I tend to sparingly use it. But put me in a heated football game, watch a Steeler game with me. You'll learn words out of me.
No, I've gotten little tastes of it. Yeah, the post show cigar bar with the hockey games on. I've seen it.
There you go. There you go.
I got one more question for real this time.
Mm-hmm.
If you were given the choice between starting life with your current knowledge again at age 6 or $10 million, which would you take?
Well, having asked this question a couple of times this year, and also having read Stephen King's 11/22/63 that involves resetting time and going back and forth in time. I don't want to. If I begin over again, there's a world where I don't meet Megan Pennington. There's a world where I might not meet Corky Franks or any of the people I met in pro wrestling. There may, for better or for worse, there may be a world I don't even go to Nashville. There may be a world that I don't write the songs that I wrote. So my current perspective and my current life experience is invaluable to me. It's worth more than $10 million. So I'll take the $10 million. I don't have that much debt left. I can pay that down and really just kind of have the FU money I need to actually say FU. So
brag about having your bills paid, Craig.
Hey, like I said, I'm grateful I'm even here. So the fact that I've cleared up some wreckage in that time I'm grateful for it. So
you should be proud of yourself, not just grateful.
Right. Well, Megan, thank you for yet another year. And allow me to just say this. I could have gone through and just done Sounds Like Me and maybe written songs similar to Inside the Cabin and similar to We're Through and similar to a whole bunch of other stuff. The fact that I got to do this with you has been the greatest part of this year. And I cannot thank you enough for you continue. You saved my life with your music and you saved my life with your friendship about 4 years ago. I don't see it anymore as paying you back. I just simply enjoy the fact that I continue to discover a new part of your psyche that can be put down on paper and new parts of the world we can explore together. And I've said it last year, I'll say it this again. I've met a few people in your life that I know are better friends than I am, but you are my best friend. And I love you. And I thank you so much for your time, your belief, and for being the reason that the Craig-Veltri interview happened. So thank you for once again being a part of the State of the Podcast 4th anniversary of the Craig-Veltri interview.
I love you too, Craig. And right back at you on everything.
The Craig-Veltri interview, where Craig-Veltri interviews wonderful people, is a production of Scarfire Media, the voice of the independent artist. Written and edited by Craig-Veltri, your announcer and guest and facilitator of the No Kiddin Questionnaire 2.0 is Megan Pennington. Inside the Cabin is available now on all streaming. Support Moonshine Vagabonds by downloading direct from Bandcamp. Time now to update the event calendar because you must know where I am at all times. The next date is Thursday, May 22nd, Grumpy Monk in Carolina, Fortis, South Carolina, just outside the Grand Strand. Straight shot to Myrtle Beach on 5/21 from 6 to 9 p.m. For full dates, including Pittsburgh, Chicago, and Atlanta, visit my website, craig-veltri.bandsugal.com. For booking info, including full band and this podcast, email me at craig-veltri@gmail.com. You can find the interview on Facebook by searching the Craig-Veltri interview, YouTube at Craig-Veltri Music. Find the Craig-Veltri interview archive on Patreon, and you can find me on Instagram, or as my old roommate, the Tommy Thomas used to call it, Instagirl at craig.veltri. For Mama Meg, I'm Craig-Veltri, and this has been the Craig-Veltri Interviews 2026 State of the Podcast. Thank you so much for your support over the last 4 years, whether or not you're just getting involved in listening to the podcast in the last year, or you've been with us since the beginning. Thank you for walking along this journey with me. Hopefully we get a lot more company in this year and the many years to come. And to send us out on a song of hope, here is the most hopeful track from Inside the Cabin. Here are myself and Megan Pennington, Moonshine Vagabonds. Here's Holding On for a Sunday on the Craig-Veltri interview. Proud member of the Scarfire Media Podcast Network.
Someday love is gonna find me. Hope that day love it won't be lying. Loneliness will be gone, so will heartache. But I'll move along while holding on for a someday.
If you look at this map of love and desire, you see that mine are checkered with fools and liars. inflicted pain.